Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Jonathan, for the...
Sam, before you go, one of my WhatsApp groups is called Coaching Coaches, and there's 100 coaches in there.
Okay.
This time last month, I would have invited you in there for free, but I've now got a business development manager in the shape of Victoria Beale, and she's telling me I should charge people for access to the network now. So okay. 10 quid for 10 groups. Are you up for it?
Yeah, we'll have another conversation about that another time. Absolutely, Mark. But the WhatsApp groups are very busy at the moment. I'm struggling keeping up with the ones that we've got going at the minute.
My job is to act as your filter.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, absolutely. Always interested in talking to other coaches, though, always.
Well, there's 100 coaches in that group. The money is there waiting to be picked up. Your call.
So Mark, we weren't going to go for the hard sell on this call, but well done for spotting the opportunity and being shameless in your approach. Okay.
Blame Victoria, not me.
Oh, okay, fair enough, Ben. Victoria, so
I'm a go-giver, not that's my default.
Okay, fair enough. Right, Sam, have a nice day. Enjoy your client meeting, and you'll get copies of these episodes as well. So
awesome stuff. Thank you, Jonathan. Take care, Gabrielle, Victoria, Mark. Great to see you. Speak to you very soon.
Bye-bye, Samantha. Enjoy the football. Yay!
Oh yeah, Sunday. Absolutely. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Very much thank you to some of the people on this call, in fact, all of you. So Mark Jarrett, who has created or cultivated, I say, 200 WhatsApp groups for various industries and sectors. He's handpicked the individuals to go into those groups, and so plugging that into what I do is just kind of put everything on steroids, if I can use that term. Then people understand what I'm on about. And, you know, our core service is very, very straightforward. We create and promote events for people. That's the first phase. Second phase is we help them create their own membership club, as I have done for Business Live. Now, Business Live used to be a face-to-face professional networking organisation, very successful in Milton Keynes, Leicester and Nottingham. But now we have got this fantastic thing called virtual networking that has been born from lockdown. And we have gone global. So I've actually changed the company name to Business Live Global for that reason. We've got partners all over the world, facilitators. We're just about to franchise the business. So it's a great network. It's for companies who are, individuals who are aspirational. They want to grow. They've got an exit strategy. And it's for companies generally who turn over £500,000 a year or more. So it's a really sort of hungry, lovely network to be part of. And the funny thing is, a lot of the people that join us are not the typical networkers. They're not the people that you would see at all the networking groups, and we don't really, with all due respect, want that kind of environment. We want people who haven't really got time to go networking to come to ours, spend 2 hours with us. It's a very fast-paced 3 breakout sessions, 3 speakers, very high-profile speakers. People tend to stay on longer. You know, we cut the call at about 3 o'clock, so it's 12 till 3 normally. But people don't get bored and they love it. So, you know, and I've met you guys during lockdown, all 3 of you, and we still haven't met face to face. We've built a great relationship. The computer screen hasn't stopped us from, you know, having some banter and getting to know each other. So echoing what Sam was just talking about, you know, I think if people say, oh, you can't do the same online, quite frankly, I think they're using it as an excuse, probably just to go to the pub and have a few drinks. But, you know, and anyone would do that, of course. But I do feel that this new world that we're in has just opened up a lot of opportunities, and it's made the world a lot smaller, which is great. You know, if we want to hop over to California via a Zoom call, I can do that within seconds. I don't have to fly there. You know, all the money that we're going to save, the environmental issues, you know, we're going to save the planet.
Exactly.
I mean, come on.
Carbon, time, money and carbon is being saved in huge quantities.
Virtual networking is absolutely, it's here to stay. And if people start to meet new clients and they have to go and see them face to face, ask yourself why. Why am I going to see this person now? Because Freedom Day has happened. Why do I have to jump into my car, drive to, you know, 1,000,000 miles up the road just to say hi for 2 hours. What's the point when you can just flick on a computer, you can jump out of the shower, you can do your meeting, and you can share screens. I mean, come on, guys, virtual is the way forward. So I'll stop now.
No, I mean, that's great. And Mark, you're obviously chiming in with a lot of affirmations there. Praise virtual networking.
Well, if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see that I wrote an article in 2018 called The Wonderful World of Virtual Networking.
There you go. So
people laughed at me then. They're not laughing now. It's the only way to network.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Visionary. I'm a visionary.
You
must be.
Thought leader.
Yeah. So I've, as you see, I've got this dramatic background, the COVID coaching calamity, which I chose because I like alliteration. So, okay, I have a number of coaches in my network, and something I'm very familiar with is that they train in things that they don't do for themselves. What is that about, Gabrielle?
Repeat the question, just say that again.
So if you're a coach and you're teaching someone to overcome inner fears or do some action to get a result, but they're not doing it themselves for their own business, how and why?
Oh, that's not an easy one, is it? So they're training in things, but they're not actually using that method on themselves, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Do you have an idea? Do you recognize it as true in your experience?
There's a lot of coaches out there that collect training programs and train on everything that there is going, and they don't take action, because there's a lot of people out there that do that as a habit for themselves anyway. So there is a lot of that going on, and they just think, you know, they recognize it as something in themselves that they need, so they go and train in it because they think they can help other people with it, but they haven't took it on board themselves. And that's what I would see in the person. Yeah.
What do you think then? So I'll give my own example. I've had various medical things happen, struggles in life, like most people, and each of those was a learning experience for me. So even though I'm not qualified as a coach, I do it all the time. So, okay. Sam is a visual thinker. You can see her looking up in her so NLP, eye movement cues, you can see her looking up as she describes her business. Do you think, no, that's too narrow. Are people attracted to coaching because it's a business program, or what balance is there between people that coach because they've struggled and people that coach because they think it's a good business?
So there are people that coach because they've struggled. So, okay, my take on this, there are people that coach because they've struggled, but they haven't dealt with their own struggles. And that's where they look out for these courses, and they don't do the work on themselves. And that's where they're not moving forward with their coaching. And what was the other one you just said? There are people that coach
because they think it's a business.
Yeah. So, well,
I'll tell you why, because I've been in, so many years ago, when I was trying to change the world previously, I'd go to these free NLP weekends, you know, where they show you a bit of magic and then they try and hard sell you. And in those rooms of people, there was quite a lot of people that were attracted and were anchored by the high prices asked at the end of the second day.